Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. Today we're back working on the Mongoose Beast, and we are swapping out more steel parts for aluminum parts. But before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure that little bell icon next to that's checked off. That way you get notified every time I upload, so you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content we got on this channel. So we are back with the Mongoose Beast, and we are dropping some more weight off of this bike. And today we are working on the crank arms. So obviously our crank arms on here, they are steel versus aluminum. Now again, I'll tell you how you tell the difference between a steel and aluminum part, and it's very simple. All you need is a little magnet. This is my little magnetic telescoping stick here. You can get a kitchen magnet, it'll do the same thing. All you gotta do, stick it right to it. If it sticks to it, that means it's steel. If it doesn't stick, just like the new crank arms, it is aluminum. So on the bike currently we have a steel crankset as well as a steel chainring. Currently, that setup is heavy. We're swapping it out. We're going all aluminum. We're going new aluminum crank arms as well as a new aluminum chain ring on there, so we lose some weight hopefully. So is that all we're doing? We're just going to change cranksets? No, we're also actually changing the gear ratio on this bike. We're going to a 32 tooth round chain ring on here instead of the 36 that comes on this bike. Now I know I said at the beginning I might now re-gear this bike. Well, that changed. We are re-gearing this whole bike to make it a little bit more fun off-road. I plan on riding this bike way more, and it needs to be re-geared. Even with it being way lighter than it used to be, it needs to be re-geared to be fun and enjoyable on off-road trails. So we're going to be doing that. We're also taking off the chain guard, which, surprise, is steel too. So we're taking the chain guard off because it's not going to work with the new gear setup for this. So we're going to be working on this here. So what do we got to do first? First thing we got to do is get this whole crankset off here. Get the pedals off first, of course. That way we can install our new one. But before we can install the new one, we gotta weigh what we got right now, weigh what we're putting on, and of course, assemble our new crankset. So let's get right up here. We'll take the chain guard off, we'll take the pedals off, and we'll get working on removing this crankset on here. All right, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and get this chain guard off of here. So of course, it's just two screws, one on the back, and then one hiding behind the actual crankset. So we'll get that bolt off, that screw out of here. There we go. And we'll get this other one hiding back here. And we'll weigh this because I'm kind of curious how much weight we're losing just by dumping this chain guard. All right, so chain guard, 116 grams, which comes out to 4.1 ounces. So not too bad, not too bad. Not too bad, a little under half a pound, so that's not bad at all, you know. Actually, that's a quarter pound, huh? So that's about a quarter pound off of the bike, just with that. All right, so got that weighed, that's all removed. Done. So let's go ahead and take our pedals off. That's gonna be our next step. So if we don't have a fancy little pedal wrench like this, makes it nice and super easy. These ones actually do have a 6mm on the back, but we're gonna use pedal wrench because it makes it nice and easy for this. Of course, if you don't have one, 15mm wrench works pretty good most of the time. Okay, we got pedals off. So these ones have a little cap on here. So get a little flathead screwdriver, and we'll shove that in there. And these ones screw in. Yes, they do. All right. Those guys screw in. Go ahead and do this other side too. And then we got these ones actually have a bolt in them, or a nut, I guess you could call it. So got a 14mm here on a ratchet. Go ahead and pop that 14mm nut off of there. There we go. Some are gonna have a little bit different. That's one style. The other style you will see is something very similar to this right here. So it has a, it's an 8mm on the top. Same way. Take this out. It just leaves an empty hole. Use a crank arm puller, pulls the crank arm right out. We'll show that in a second. But there are a couple different styles of that. Some of them are just a whole bolt too. So, and then we're gonna need our crank arm puller. Crank arm puller right here. It's pretty simple design. Screws onto the threads on this outside of your crank arm. So it screws right in. And on the inside, it's got a little pusher. Right there, as you can see, it's popping up there. So that will actually push so it's pretty much holding this in place on your crank arm. And as you turn this bolt here, it's actually gonna push the crank arm off of the bike. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Making all sorts of different things, all sorts of different styles. I like this one because it's portable. So I'm gonna unscrew that some more so it fits all the way in there. There we go. And we're just gonna go ahead and screw her in, just like that. Just make sure you get some threads in there, because if you don't get threads, you're gonna rip the threads out. Been there, done that. Don't really want to do it again. It's not very fun. Then you're at that point you're buying new crank arms, whether you like it or not. So go ahead here. That's an 8, not a 6. There we go. All right, 8mm, and we'll go ahead and all you gotta do is just tighten this guy up on here. There we go. All right, and once you tighten it up, it should just pop right off like that. And you just unscrew your tool and you just do it again for the other side. There we go, got our second crank arm off. We are set to go weigh these and compare them to, actually no, we're set to get our new ones all ready to go and then weigh them and see what kind of difference we're making on here. All right, so we got the old ones removed, so we're going to get our new drive side crank arm all set and ready to go. So obviously no chain ring attached there. So got the chain ring from them as well. And just so you guys know, this is all from JG Bike. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It's just the cheapest thing I could find. So pretty good price though. So we'll give them a shot, see what we think. So we'll go ahead, pull our new chain ring out of there. All right, good. Let's throw that to the side. So nice new chain ring. Looks kind of cool. Can I pick which side? I want this side out. That side's cool. It doesn't really matter on this one. Sweet. All right, cool. So we got that. Ooh, and we got black chain ring bolts. Cool. All right, so this is a very simple process. So I swapped chain rings before on the Superfly before, so pretty simple. So you just line it up right there with the holes, nice and easy. And then you have a threaded bit and a inside threaded bit. Pretty easy. So you put the non-threaded bit in there first. That actually holds everything kind of together, helps you push up on the back of the chain ring, and you just go ahead and tighten her down. Well, you don't want to tighten her down yet. Start threading them in, and you're just going to get them all started first. That way you can tighten them evenly and don't worry about warping anything or anything like that. Got all 4 of them together. There we go. And then these chain ring bolts should just be a 5mm. So you grab a 5mm Allen key, and we're just going to start feeding them in. And there is a chain ring tool you can use. It just holds the back. You know, I've used screwdrivers, I've used all sorts of stuff. They work perfectly fine. All right, and then from there, you're just pretty much gonna go just crisscross. So tighten up here, tighten this guy on this side, and then we'll go down here and tighten this side down here. And we're just gonna go, you know, pretty tight. All right, new chain ring installed in the new setup. What do you think looks better? I go with this one. This one looks really cool versus this one. This one's really cool. So, all right. Look at that difference there. So 36 tooth, 32 tooth. So let's go ahead. We'll weigh these two. We'll weigh our big old steel ones first. We'll weigh our aluminum ones. See what we end up with weight-wise and see how much weight we're actually losing just swapping out the crank arms on this thing. All right, so it's weighing time. So let's go ahead and weigh our old steel parts. Kind of interesting. This is a full steel, 2 full aluminum setup. So see how much weight we're actually gonna lose here. So I'll go ahead and throw our crank arms on there. So 1,168 grams, which comes out to, whoo, 2 pounds, 9 ounces. That is some heavy crank arms. All right, so let's go ahead and switch back to grams. And we'll grab our new crank arms, our new aluminum ones. We've got our new aluminum arms and our new aluminum chain ring here. And we'll go ahead and we'll do the same deal. Weigh these guys. 632 grams, which comes out to, let's see, 1 pound, 6.3 ounces. Dang, we are losing a pound just swapping the crankset. We're losing a pound just swapping the crankset out. That's a lot of weight. All right, so in total, changing the crankset, deleting the chain guard, about 1.25 pounds. Well, actually a little more than 1.25 pounds, about 1.5 pounds, honestly, all together. So that's not bad. Changing the crankset out and the chain ring and dropping that chain guard, 1.5 pounds. Cool, that's not bad. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get this new one installed on here. Pretty much the same process to install it backwards, but let's get over to the bike and we'll get this new one installed on there. Back over the bike, very simple process to put this back on. So obviously they're called a square taper crankset for a reason. They have a square shape on them and the shaft actually tapers back. So as you tighten it up, pulls the crank arm on, keeps the crank arm on there. So with that being said, you wanna make sure you angle these correctly. You wanna make sure they're actually straight up and down. You don't want to make sure one's pointed down and one's pointed to the left. It's gonna be some weird pedaling if you do that. Super simple to put this on. So like I said at the beginning, chain's not gonna work. I already know this. We dropped 4 teeth on the front chain ring. It's gonna fit, but it's gonna be super loose. So it's not even worth my time to put that on. If you didn't change your chain ring size, you can slap that chain right back on. No problem. Put it on right now. You're set to go. But we are changing the rear cog on this in our next video. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna be swapping that out. So also to change one of my coaster brake hubs. So stay tuned for that next video. We are re-gearing the back of the bike as well to set up with this bike with a new gear ratio. But right now, pretty simple. You slap that on there, line it up with the square taper, and then in my case, we got the little nut here that goes onto the end. If you have the Allen head ones, same deal. You just slip that in and start screwing it on. And of course, you want to get a couple threads on before you get your Allen key or ratchet, whatever you got. And we just want to make sure we get that pretty tight there. That is a big change. Wow. Okay, that's pretty much it. Got that nice and tight. And in my case, I got my little caps. Can snap back on. So see if these will fit again. And they do. Look at that. All right. A little cap that can go back on there. See if we can kind of make it look good. There we go. All right, dude. I didn't expect to get the cap back on. I thought I'd be stuck with the ugly nut sticking out. That looks awesome. That looks sweet. That looks so good on this bike. That makes a huge difference to how this looks. All right, got another crank arm for the other side. So like I said, you want to make sure that they are, what do you call them? They're just going the same direction, I guess. So instead of, you don't want to point this one down too. So obviously you point them down and both the pedals are facing frontwards, right? Doesn't really work. Don't want to put them like, don't really want to put them like this, right there, because then you'll have weird pedals as well. You want to make sure they are just perfect like that, just like they would not be on a normal bike. Otherwise, you're gonna have some weird pedaling, like I said. Now we do the same deal. Just slap that nut on right there and get it tightened from there. So, got the crank arms back on, and then from there, you just gotta go put your pedals back on, and we'll send they're labeled. Left goes on left, right goes on right. Obviously, don't cross thread them because, especially if you change to aluminum arms, your aluminum arms are more likely to cross thread, so don't do that. That would be a very, very bad day. To put new aluminum arms on and then cross thread the crap out of them the first time you go put pedals on. And I'll just add this before I end this. Yeah, now that I've had all these beautiful looking parts, the kickstand looks ugly. Kickstand's coming off if I can get it off. There we go. Alright, let's weigh it real quick and close out the video. Alright, and just curiosity's sake, kickstand 298 grams, which turns into 10.5 ounces. Dang, that's about a half-pound kickstand. That's a little more than a half-pound kickstand. Cool. Kickstand is officially off the bike and will not be going back on. Well, at least this kickstand's not going back on. But kickstand is off. And one more thing, deleted from the bike. Alright, so that's how you go ahead and swap out a brand new crankset on your bike and get that all installed and save about £1 switching from steel to aluminum. Pretty neat. So of course we got a couple more things coming on the fat bike. So of course we need to re-gear the back of this, so that'll fix our chain issue. That's obviously not tight right now, so we're gonna fix that, get that all changed out. Next video that's gonna be coming up. And then realistically I have one more thing left coming for the bike that I should be picking up this coming weekend, so I should have that all set in there, and I think at that point the bike is about as done as can be. So this project's been fun. Hopefully you guys were able to learn something about installing a new crankset on there, getting one set, and losing some weight on there. So again, if you're interested in picking up this crankset, I'll have a link in the description down below. It's on Amazon, pretty cheap, pretty basic, works really good. Comes in an arrow wide chainring, so pretty awesome for a budget crankset, honestly. So if you guys did enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comments section below. Love chatting with you guys, love answering questions you guys have, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.